and welcome back to my channel. I am Anastasia, the Oilymommy, and at this channel we talk about oil tips and business tricks. And if you are new to my channel, or if this is the first video that you are watching, I want to personally welcome you. Thank you for being here. I hope that you find just wisdom and understanding with using oils, but also along your business journey as a woman. I am passionate about helping and empowering women, and specifically mothers, to step into and walk out their destiny. And I made a decision a while back that I'm of the belief that we all have gifts and talents, and it is our job to use those up completely. So with creating this channel and making these videos, I decided I want to impart and share everything that I know, that I have learned over the last decade about business, about motherhood, and about using essential oils to just bring peace and empowerment into your life. So I am just here doing videos and telling you all about these beautiful oils in the way that I know how and the way that speaks to me. And so hopefully that's a way that will speak to you, and that you will feel empowered and feel like you have tools that you can use at your fingertips that are natural and that come from the earth. So let's recap a little bit on what is an essential oil. Essential oils are essentially the aromatic compounds that come from plants. They will either be cold pressed or steam distilled, and from the roots, the bark, the flowers, the stems of a plant. So essential oils, herbs, you guys have heard of herbs and essential oils, have been around since the beginning of time because they come from the earth. So the earth has been around since the beginning of time, and thus the plants that give us those essential oils have been around since the beginning of time. Now there are oils like this oil that we're going to talk about today, which is Breathe, that is a blend of different oils. And so those have been used together historically, like throughout time, they have been used together to work for a specific part of the body, to help assist the body, to help support the body in these beautiful ways. Now, the cool thing with essential oils is you don't have to like believe in them or not believe in them. They work the way that a plant does. Like you take mint and you might put it in a mojito, or you might use it to freshen your breath, or you might use it as flavoring in your cooking, and you know that it tastes good and that it's gonna freshen your breath. And also, if you lived about 100 years ago, you're gonna know instinctively that it's also gonna help settle the stomach. So, not really instinctively, kind of instinctively, intuitively, but also because that's what our mothers told us. Hippocrates, which is the father of medicine, he actually used to use Melaleuca tea tree in his practice as a way to help heal wounds, weeping wounds from soldiers and things, because he found that it was naturally an antibacterial, antifungal, and it would help the skin and the wound heal. So that's just a little history lesson there, I guess you could say. So now talking about our essential oils today, talking about Breathe, which is doTERRA's respiratory blend. So if you got a kit of oils, or if you're just curious about this whole thing and what these different oils can do, and you're watching these videos in order to decide which oils you want to get into your oil toolbox or your arsenal, hopefully you're going to want to add this one to the list when you are done. Breathe is one of the first oils I ever used when I first started getting started with essential oils, which is 8 years ago now. We're in 2021, and I started using essential oils in 2014 because basically my story in a nutshell, I was addicted to a small pharmacy worth of drugs, properly prescribed by my doctors. for a myriad of issues that I was dealing with. And one day my husband just looked at me and said, I don't recognize you anymore. Like, you don't get happy, you don't get sad, and you are taking medication for the side effects of medications. So this is not, I'm gonna say this, and you'll hear me say this many times, I believe in modern medicine. There is a huge need for modern medicine. I have had some of my children using epidurals. Praise the Lord that they have them. I believe in modern medicine for emergency things, but for certain things, and in my case and in my situation, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and still never finding answers. So being able to use essential oils in a way to support the body, to support the mind, to just bring about peace within the emotions, for me was huge. I was not taught to do that, as most of us are not taught to turn to nature, to turn to the earth for the things that we need. But our bodies need the earth. Our bodies need food from the earth and the plants, and everything is here on this planet to bless and help heal our bodies. So that is the belief that I stand on, and many others within the holistic community, I would say. So my husband looked at me, said, I don't recognize you, and I went to my doctor and I said, I'm 28 years old. I don't want to be on this many drugs anymore. And he said, well, if you want to be well, you're going to have to be on this. And there was something in me that just clicked, and I went, no, that's not being well. That's just being well prescribed. And I told him that day, I said, I want to start weaning off of some of this stuff. I want to feel like myself again. I want to be myself again. I want to be a mom. I want to be a wife. I want to cry, and I want to laugh, and I want to feel those emotions again, and I want to feel my body again and essentially come back to my body. So essential oils were my journey of coming back to my body, and today I'm not on any drugs, and all the things I had been told about my body, amazing, it has healed itself. That's what our bodies are made to do. They are made to heal. So that was my experience, that's my journey, and that's why I'm passionate about helping women, helping moms know there is another way that you can live your life, and you don't have to live in fear. Hopefully that's what this is going to do for you. All right, Breathe, the respiratory blend. I really wish that you could just smell this right now, because let me just explain to you what this does on an emotional level. And this, I did not write this book. I'm not endorsed or anything by the writer of this book. I don't even know who is the writer of this book. This is Emotions and Essential Oils, a reference guide for emotional healing. Let me figure out, I don't know, who wrote this book? Well, anyways, that's okay. This is a book that I love to reference when I'm talking about mental health and wellness, as well as emotional health and wellness. And Breathe, this oil right here, the respiratory blend, let me read you what this says, because this spoke to me so much, and this explained why I gravitated towards this oil. This was the oil, I would say, that helped me open up to being able to weep again. Breathe addresses the inability to let go of grief and pain. Individuals in need of breathe struggle to breathe and literally feel suffocated by sadness. The lungs and air passages become constricted, preventing air and emotion from releasing. The root of this condition is feeling unloved. Maybe that speaks to you. Individuals grieve the love they never received. They often shut down due to fear, not knowing whether the love they need will be there. They distrust whether it's safe to open and take in life. Breathe encourages individuals to release grief and sadness and to receive genuine love and healing. Breathe also supports one's relationship with the spirit and deepens one's connection to life. It invites individuals to let go by breathing out and to receive by breathing in. In this way, this blend teaches individuals to embrace life through breath. Breathe imbues individuals with the courage to fully open. That, in a nutshell, was me. And after finally being able to breathe, to let go of the things that I needed to let go, just like in that song, let it go, let it go. You're welcome. Now you're gonna have that song stuck in your head. But that is what this oil did for me, and I have seen it do for countless people. It helps you breathe and to get that breath. And so that's emotionally what this oil can do. And I needed that emotional support to be able to have the breath to walk through and to deal with the things in my life that I needed to walk through and deal with. That trauma, that healing that I needed for that trauma. So a lot of times when we are highly medicated, I believe it can be because we haven't dealt with trauma that has happened in our life or in our past, in our childhood, and coming to terms with that. And so we will mask it by medicating because our body gives us cues and signals and will tell us, hey, things aren't okay. Hey, I'm not doing okay. Our body, I remember I used to have these episodes all the time where I would just pass out. Like I would just start going tunnel vision and that was it. And then I would pass out. And I had this since I was, I don't know, young, probably around 8 years old. And I remember having these episodes a lot as I got older and I married my husband and he worked in the medical field. And I would tell him, I'm like, oh, that's happening again. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I'm going tunnel vision. And he told me this one time, he goes, it's okay. It's your body taking control because it doesn't believe you are doing a good job. And so your body's gonna take control and it's gonna regulate itself and you'll come back. And that's exactly what happened. But it was the first time someone had explained to me that it was okay. My body was taking over because essentially I had been abusing it in a way. And the way that I was abusing it was I wasn't eating enough foods and things like that. I wasn't getting sleep. I wasn't giving myself the nourishment that I needed. And I blacked out and I came back. And that alone, that realization helped me. I don't know why, I just feel like I'm supposed to share this, so maybe it's speaking to you. I hope it's speaking to you. If it helps one person, like truly. So it was in that moment where I had just this realization of my body's on my side. Like your body is on your side. Your body is the only person, the only thing that is with you your entire life. Your entire life. And so coming back to your body, learning to trust your body, learning to be curious about the cues that your body is telling you. Your body will tell you things. So you have digestive discomfort. Well, maybe you're not able to deal with information or trauma. You're not able to break it down and digest it, right? That's what our digestive tract does. It helps break down and digest and as well as pull out the nutrients that we need and get rid of the bad stuff. Well, if you're having blockages there, like you're not able to go to the bathroom for days on end, that's not good. That's really not good. Your body needs to expel the waste. Or if you're just the loose bowels like crazy, that is telling you there is an imbalance within the body. So having a holistic approach to it, which is my belief in the way that I look at the body, and looking at it holistically, so mind, body, spirit, right? All of those working together, because we're made up of mind, body, and spirit, all those working together, or souls, okay? All those working together in unison. Well, when there is a disconnect, or when there is trauma, or when there is something that has happened that we haven't dealt with, then there's going to be a reaction within the body, and our body's going to communicate that to us. All right. I went down that rabbit hole, I know, but I just felt like I was supposed to, so I'm going to just trust that. So back to breathe oil. The ingredients within this oil are laurel bay eucalyptus, peppermint, melaleuca, known as tea tree oil, lemon, cardamom, ravensara, and ravensara. The negative emotions that this oil helps address are sadness, grieving, despairing, feeling unloved, constricted, distrusting, and closed off. And the positive properties that it imbues are feeling loved, supported, receiving, open, healing, solace, embracing life, and trusting. The suggested uses for this on an emotional level are to use it aromatically. Inhale from the bottle, or diffuse, or place a drop in your hand, rub it together, cup over your nose and mouth, and inhale. This is one of my favorite ways to use essential oils. And I like to do this like a couple of times. On good days, when I remember and I don't wake up to, someone throwing up, or the dog pooping or peeing on the floor, or whatever going on days where I'm able to wake up and put balance on the bottoms of my feet and ground my feet to the earth and be thankful and start my day with gratitude. And I will take a bottle of Breathe, because it's right at my bedside, and I'll put that drop in my hand, cup over my nose and mouth, and inhale. And I will do that for 5 cleansing breaths. And I recommend, if what I have been talking about right now today has been speaking to you, I recommend start doing this. Do this 3-5 times a day. Do it as much as you need to until you're able to let go and weep. And then breathe in that life. Because if there is breath in your lungs, there is a purpose for your life. Okay. Well, I am really preaching today, like a Baptist preacher. Okay. Topically, you can dilute this with 1 to 3 drops of a carrier oil like a fractionated coconut oil, and apply this over the heart and the chest. And I hope that you use that practice. This is also good. This is also a good oil for stress and anxious feelings. So if you're somebody that doesn't do good, especially right now with wearing masks out in public, if you are still in a country or a state or a city that mandates that, or you're in a work environment that does, like you're a nurse or a doctor or someone that works in any of those fields, any of our first line responders, actually a lot of people are still wearing masks. I live in South Korea right now because my husband is military, so we live here and it's masks everywhere. If you're gonna be outside going for a walk, whatever it is, you're wearing masks. So a lot of people are dealing with just anxiety from wearing a mask. That could be dealing with past trauma, feeling like you can't breathe, or being stopped from being able to take breath. And this is one I will put inside of my mask and inside my kids' masks and put it on their chest as well if they're having a hard time. And I'll tell them too, we were just recently flying from America back to South Korea because we were there. My daughter was graduating, my oldest was graduating from high school. And my 5-year-old daughter was just struggling. She was having a hard time. She's like, I just can't breathe, mommy. And so I let her pull her mask down and take just the oil, and I just took the top off the bottle, and I let her just breathe it and put it underneath her nose, and she was able to take in that breath and last another 10 hours on that flight. So also I'm going to say, trust your intuition on using these oils, because sometimes our body, lots of times, most of the time, our body will know things that we won't know. And so if you're gravitating towards a specific oil, or just start to get curious about that, like, wow, I really love lemon, I'm always going to lemon. Or wow, I really respond to breathe, I feel like almost like it's this security blanket, and it just helps me breathe. There's a reason for that. And so be gentle with yourself, but explore that a little bit and explore why that might be the case. All right, let's talk about the physical properties that we can use, or the top uses that we can use Breathe for. So this one is great for any type of breathing issues. Makes sense with the name, right? It's good for cough and congestions. You can diffuse it, or you can apply it on the bridge of your nose or to your chest. It's great for to support the bronchioles, to support the sinuses, to help open the airways, right? It's just gonna just like whoosh, open up those airways, give you that, almost that instant relief of having breath within your lungs. It's really good also for sleep issues. We use this in our diffuser with lavender oil a lot of times at night. If the kids are dealing with like a cough or any type of breathing discomfort, breathing issues, we will diffuse Breathe in their room all night, and usually it will help resolve the issue by the morning, which is wonderful. It's so diffusing this oil is such a wonderful use for this oil. All right. And then exercise-induced breathing issues. So what I love to do, because I have exercise-induced breathing issues, is I like to put peppermint on my chest to help open me up for when I'm getting ready to exercise and work out. And then I put Breathe on my chest, and I do my like little inhaler with it. And actually I can show you that trick. Let me do that for you. So you're gonna take a drop, put it in your hand, just like we do when we cup over our nose and mouth, but this time we're going to make an inhaler. So rub just your palms together, and then you're going to take your bottom hand, whichever you're more dominant with, make that your bottom hand, and you're gonna make kind of a circle cup shape with your top hand, and put your mouth right over that hole that you're making with your hand, and you're going to breathe in quickly and hold for 5 seconds. So. And exhale, and do that a couple of times. This is great. You could, if you didn't want to do that, just put it really tight over your nose and mouth, making more of a cup shape, and you can like open mouth breathe. So that way you're getting it into your lungs in a faster way. You do not want to take this oil. You are not instructed, you are not allowed, it is not recommended to take this oil internally. However, because it has tea tree and ravensara, and I think eucalyptus, that's what it is. Eucalyptus cannot be taken internally. So yeah, so this oil can be used topically with a carrier oil, like a fractionated coconut oil, because it has peppermint in it. It has some of those oils that they're not hot oils, but they can be a like warming, tingling sensation to the skin. They can cause irritation. So use a carrier oil with it. Don't just like slather this on without a carrier oil. And you can use it by diffusing it, and then like kind of inhaling the way that I just showed you and just taught you, cupping over your nose and mouth, or cupping with your hand and almost using it like an inhaler for breathing support. Another great way to use this oil for young kids, so I'm gonna say 1 year old and younger. There's not a lot of things that you can do for babies at that age, right? There's not really much that they can take. There is a breathe stick that you can use, or you can make your own by taking 5 drops of breathe oil and the rest fractionated coconut oil, putting it inside of a 10 ml bottle, and then you can rub that on their feet, the bottoms of your little one's feet, and you can rub it on their chest if they're having difficulty with breathing to open up their airways, okay? And I just mean like they have some congestion and stuff. This does not take the place of going to a doctor. Always, 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 always go to your doctor. So hopefully you found this helpful. I know this was a little different than my other videos, a little longer. Thanks for sticking with me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. Ring that bell so that you'll be notified when I have new videos out, and comment below and let me know if this spoke to you, if this was something that you benefited from, and thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time, and remember, you just have to open the bottle.